What's going on, guys? It's Malcolm from Crimson Off-Road here. Today I'm going to be showing you my 2021 GMC Canyon AT4. I got it 3 years ago. I got it in August of 2020. I got it brand new with about 27 kilometers on it. I've put 80,000 on it now, so I've been driving it quite a bit. Really got to know the truck. Been building it. If you look at it now, it's sitting on 37s with a 5.5-inch BDS Lift. It's got Fox coilovers and a long travel kit. I'll show you that closer here. If you want to see it, stick around. It's going to be interesting. I'll show you everything from my camping setup to how I drive it off-roading to what works for me, what doesn't, what I found, and how I think my setup's pretty good compared to the rest. Yeah, let's take a closer look here. So starting in the front here on the truck, if you look, it doesn't look like a normal AT4. It looks like an elevation because the grills on the AT4s are this chrome, like matte chrome coated stuff, and I had two of the grills. One got replaced under warranty and it got replaced because it chips. And then if you take your power washer and power wash it, it blows all the coating off. So it ends up with a chrome grill. I don't like chrome. Not many people like chrome. So I went and got a new grill. I got it painted to match and left the inside black, paint matched the outside, and now it looks like that. While I was at it, I got new fog light bezels because they're the same coating, they chip. And I also got a new lower, I guess you call this a bumper piece, because I may or may not have hit a stump, but we don't really talk about that. So we got it all paint matched now, so it looks better in my opinion. It all matches and flows together. The Denali's have this paint match, so that's where I got the idea from, and I think it looks better. It ties it all together. Looks way better in the front now. And then I got a 19-inch light bar here. I found it at Canadian Tire. It's just a slim one, but it's actually a dual row. If you look at it, it's got 2 rows. So everybody always asks me how I put this in here. I just took the bumper apart, cut out, there's these things, these lower pieces down here, cut those out. You can maybe see. And then I just bolted it through the bumper and put it back on. It's really simple. While we're around here, I also have a front camera that I added after because the hoods on these trucks are really big. And if you're coming up over a hill, it's really hard to see what's on the other side. So I did that so I could see. Then if you continue coming around the side here, these are Rough Riders Stampede fender flares, I believe. I got these ones because they're the widest ones you could get off the body, because here in BC where I live, you're not allowed any tire poke. Well, very minimal. I live on the island, which they're a little bit more lenient, but they still don't like it. They'll hit you with a ticket and give you a VI. Got penny lights in them. I drilled those in, kind of like the AEV flares. I just like the look of them, so to each your own. Kind of a big LED guy, so I like my lights. So coming around here to the tires, these are Method Grid 309s, I believe. I've had those since I put the lift in, which was about 10,000 K on the truck. So those have been doing pretty good. Those are 17s. The tires are 37-inch Nitto trail grapplers. Then if we're talking suspension down in here, we got that's the remote reservoir. Those are adjustable compression dampeners with the coilovers in here. I'll show you. I had to get a stiffer spring rate. I think they're 650s, and I got an 18-inch, so it fills up the shock so you don't have a weird, like, see all the threads at the top. So that's that. And then this is a Baja Kits lower control arm and upper control arm long travel kit. They usually have plaques here to show you, but they were getting rusty, so I took them off, and those are just the holes from them. These are custom made uniballs from EMF. They're greasable and rebuildable. So that's your upper and lower with the grease nipple. Then they're greasable up here, which up here in Canada, you want to be able to grease your stuff, because if you don't, it'll squeak. And uniballs are the worst up here. You get about a year or 2 out of them before they start squeaking. I've had these on for about a year and I haven't had any problems with them. So they're great guys. Those are great uniballs. So moving on down the side now, we've got the Rocky Road Outfitter sliders. I really like these ones. They bolt to the frame. And they bolt to the pinch weld. And I really like these sliders. I had to cut the end off because the 37s would have rubbed on it. I got cameras here too. The front camera system had room for side cameras, so I just added them because, you know, might as well. Not much else really going on the side. Oh yeah, on the AT4s, these are black. Those are paint matched. I don't know. I was just getting everything painted, so got those painted. The only thing I didn't get painted is the flares, because I don't know if you can tell on camera, but up here and my paint, There's a lot of scratches, a lot of bushes, there's a lot of tight trails, so I didn't get these painted because they're just gonna get absolutely destroyed. Not much in the rear. I got a rear add-a-leaf. That's about it, just to kind of bring it up level. It's still a little higher in the front, especially when there's weight in the back. So talking about my camping setup, I really like this system. I wanted to be able to open the cover with the tent on it. The way I did that is I got the Ridgelander by Undercover, tonneau cover here. It sits on top. It's a little thick, but it's the only one I could find that did this that was a decent price, and it came with the racks, so these are Rhino racks. So I have the racks mounted on the track system on the cover, and the cover sits on here. But yeah, so you can open up the cover with the tent on it. The thing is when you do that, I'll show you in a minute here when I open everything up, but I have a bed slide in there, and if you slide it out, if you have containers at the front, you can't get the lids off. With that, you can get in there and you can actually get in the sides and like actually use your entire box. I'll show you that in a minute when we get everything set up, but let's keep going around the truck first. Rear bumper from AEV comes on the Bisons. It fits on any Colorado or Canyon, so I really like the look of that. I don't like the big metal bumpers. I like the AEVs because they look kind of factory. They got the factory look, and then they got these sliders here, which I've abused. I ripped with the original bumper, first time off-roading, I ripped the steps off of it, so that didn't last long. For my tire carrier, I had a buddy weld this up for me. This is a Kurt Tire Carriers, and I had to modify it so it lifted the tire up higher, and it also swings down, which I'll show you in a minute again when I kind of get more into the truck. It's got a pin and a bolt on it, and you pull the pin and it swings down. I don't really run a spare when I'm locally off-roading or wheeling because I don't really see a point. But if I'm going on a trip, which I'm going on a trip, so that's why I threw this on here, that's usually what I'll bring, so I have a spare tire. Up here, almost forgot, the ditch lights. These are just Amazon ditch lights. I'm getting rid of these ditch lights, but I'm gonna be getting better ones on soon, which I'll make a video about. They're knob sight lights, and they're really good, and they come with covers, which these ones didn't, and in BC you have to have any auxiliary lights covered. One thing I forgot to mention is this truck does have front and rear lockers. They're the OEM ZR2 ones. When you re-gear, you can just buy those and do those at the same time, and then everything's done in the axles. And I also forgot to mention that it does have 456 Nitro Gears in it. So that's how I have my outside set up. That's what I found worked best for me. That's kind of really the only version that I had on this truck. I actually got the inspiration and idea from another YouTuber. He's got a Tacoma, Last Line of Defense. I don't know if you know him or not, but he's pretty known out there, and he's kind of has the Diamondback set up on the back, but I can't open it when it's on, the tent's on it. So that was another big thing. But I like his Tacoma. I've kind of watched him while I was building this truck. I know it's Tacoma and this is a Canyon, but kind of the same ideas, I guess. Truck's a truck. And all right, let's take a look inside. All right, so starting on the driver's side, let's take a quick tour here. I keep my tire deflators in the door. Easy access, know where they are. I don't keep anything else in here because it just rattles around. This is a holder for my phone on the Victory Molly panels. I keep some lighters, knife in there. And then on the dash here, this is where my lockers are. They're kind of lockout switches you got to push down and up. So under here is the switch for my rock lights. The hole was already in there, so I just found a switch that fit and put those in there. It's under here because I don't use the rock lights all the time, and not much else different in here. Everybody's seen the interior of a Canyon, so nothing really fancy about it. One thing is I did take out that useless wireless charger because I have the bigger iPhone. It does not fit in there. All right, moving on to the rear on the driver's side. This is kind of where more mods start happening. Besides the front, I guess the Molly panels is the really only thing I added. But I keep some headlamps in the door. Keep a couple forks in here. They do rattle around, but it's not that bad. And back here, I've got the 60 side delete, which I made myself. I didn't like the goose gear one because I didn't want it to go all the way to the front. I wanted to access that and not have to lift up a cubby to get in there. So it kind of goes halfway. And then I just keep some stuff in here. This is a fan from the summer in my tent, air mattress pump, a bug thing, bunch of little tools and stuff, like stuff you'd use every day in there. And then I just run a Jackery 500 to run my fridge. I charge it when I'm driving, and then when I'm at home I plug it into a power cord because my fridge is always on. And then the Jackery powers the fridge, which is all wired in here. Goes underneath and up, plugs in the other side. It's an Iceco 45 liter, smaller one. And I just keep that in there, and I just have it sitting in here with some brackets screwed into the delete that I made, and it holds the fridge pretty well. Like you can easily get in here and grab stuff out of the fridge. It's not a problem. Shut that. Behind here I keep a Jackery solar panel. So when my truck is driving, it charges the Jackery. And when I'm stopped at camp, I can grab the solar panel, throw it on the roof, and it charges the Jackery. So it's always being charged. Underneath the seat, I just keep some recovery gear, some toiletry stuff, bug spray, and Frisbee, because who doesn't like playing a little bit of Frisbee? Coming around to the passenger side rear, this is kind of where I keep all my bedding and my bags of clothes and everything. So I keep my pillows in there, sleeping bag there, keep my portable speaker, towels. I keep bug spray and sunscreen down here. I keep a first aid kit under the seat. Coming around to the front, same thing in the front. Got the Molly panel, keep the flashlight in that one. I usually have another walkie-talkie in here. I got this walkie-talkie. It's pretty much it. There's not much going on in the front. For the cool part, well, I'd call the cool part, is the back here and how I have this set up. So let me show you. I'll open it up and I'll show you how you can get into the back and how I access stuff. So to open this back part here, pull the pin here, pull that, lower it down slowly. It's not the easiest thing to do or the most convenient. Let's open this up. I don't know how much you can see here, but to open the top, then you just pop this and lift that up. So with all that opened up, now you can access every inch of your box right up to the front, get all the way in here. So it lifts the tent right up so you can get right into the front of your box and you can access everything. You don't have to unload everything to get to the stuff at the front. To get the stuff out of the very front, I got a BedSlide. So you can get right up in here and grab everything off the BedSlide. And the thing with this is my old setup is the tonneau cover didn't lift up. It was just there. So if I wanted to get stuff out of these bins, I had to take all this stuff off, slide the bin out and be able to get at it. And if you need recovery gear, it's not that convenient to do that. Or if I can't open my tailgate, I can still get in there to grab some stuff. So I just got a table on here. This is my camping bin. Keep all my camping stuff in there. You can go through my bins if you want, see what I bring, and I can show you guys. So the green one's stuff for camping, you know, plates, cutting board, knives, forks, cooking stuff. And the black one is my recovery bin, which I keep a bunch of stuff, spare CV, spare uniballs, spare tie rods. I just kind of keep spare everything in that one. So on this camp trip, I don't know if it's gonna be around water or anything, but I got a rinse kit so I can rinse some stuff off, dishes and stuff. I got my propane tank, and I always bring my barbecue. That's how I cook everything. I got a flat tray that sits on here, and I can use it as like a flat grill. I can use it as a barbecue, and I just find it the easiest and most versatile. It takes up a lot of room, but I like barbecue and stuff. That's my air compressor. I put it in an ammo box. Here, I'll grab it, show you. So, keep it protected. An ammo box, everything's in there. Around the other side, I keep my chainsaw. Chainsaw, axe, got another axe here. Usually keep that readily available, so in case there's a tree down or anything, I can grab it. But this is my favorite setup that I've seen, because it keeps the tent below the cab to keep you low for branches and trees, and your center of gravity pretty low. And now with the tonneau cover that lifts up, you can get, that's like 2 feet of access all the way to the front. Like I can walk up to the front here and, you know, grab stuff right in the front corner. So that's how to get most use out of your box. And with this setup, the propane tank can fit on a BedSlide in a canyon, standing up underneath the cover. So. One more thing on the tonneau cover, these racks. Shut that. These racks, you can take your key, undo this, and then you just pop 2 tabs in, and you can pop all 4 of those in, hook a couple straps. If you've seen my Instagram reel, you know, hook a couple straps to the ends of the bars, and the tent comes off in a matter of a minute, not even. Put the key in, push the tabs in on all 4, tent's ready to come off. So with the tonneau cover as well, this setup, I use my truck for work, so the setup needs to be able to come off easily so I can use it for work. So the racks come off like that, and the tonneau cover comes off with these knobs right here. You just undo those 2 knobs on either side, and the tonneau cover lifts right off in a minute probably. So I can have this back to a truck in 5 minutes, I would say, to get the tent off, lift it off, undo the things on the tonneau cover, take that off, and it's back to a truck with a full open bed. That's why I like the setup, because I gotta take all this stuff out on the Sunday and put all my tools in for my work week, and then I gotta take all the tools out on the Friday and put it all back in on the Monday. So one thing I did forget to mention is what type of tent is this. I like to call it an Ikamper 2.5, not a 2.0 and not a 3.0, because it technically identifies as a 2.0 on the outside, but when you open it, it identifies as a 3.0 because I got the 3.0 skin kit for it. So I don't know what you would identify that as. It's not a 2.0, but it's not a 3.0. So is it a 2.5? I'll let you guys decide. Let me know in the comments what you think. Ikamper Skycamp 2.5, which I'll show you guys my camping setup in another video. That is a rundown of my truck and what works for me. That's my setup. I probably will never change that setup. I really like it. So I hope you guys like this video. If you guys want to see Tom or Jordan's trucks, either of the two blue Tacomas, let me know in the comments and I will record a video of their trucks to show you, because ours are all set up different. They're all different, so we don't all have the same setup on different trucks. So if you want to see their trucks, let me know. So if you want to see more of my truck or more of me, make sure you subscribe. Hit that like button if you like the video and leave a comment, because I want to know if you like the video or not. And I really want to know what we should call that. A Skycamp 2.5. I like it. I might stick with that, but there she is. Hope you liked the video. Catch you in the next one, guys. See you later.